All right.
Oh, there he is.
Wednesday's at the young age where they only have one thing on their mind.
All right.
Homicide.
Homicide.
All right, Your Honor. I just want to
Nino?
have a rather transparently. I'm only willing to take this case if I believe in the defense he wants to use.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a fair. You know.
Yeah, I think it's rather unorthodox for a client to be calling a lawyer down for a defense that they're manufacturing themselves. Could we go right over there in the corner?
Sure. Yeah.
I will say that it is his right to have.
It's also my right not to represent him,
That's
Your Honor.
All right.
I did try to get him to call a lawyer before, and then they
need to
said no.
report
You're
as
probably
well?
gonna have to self-rep.
All right.
So I did
So,
try to get
so
in
just
touch with
generally speaking, all right, just as much as I don't like when cops don't entertain a conversation down in the cells, it's the same. Like, you know, if you're gonna call a bench trial, right? Like, and you got a defense, then, you know,
I told
you
him
gotta
to
be.
call lawyers.
No, I
told
got
him-
you,
I asked him.
but the thing is, like, if you're gonna come down to a bench trial, like, you need to be prepared to give that defense yourself. Otherwise, you're kind of calling me down and you're saying, please defend me based on, you know, your own argument, right? You may not even have a defense. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So,
fair. Yeah.
so,
I tried to get in touch with a lawyer for like a cell rep, and
I
they
got
said they
you.
called and no one
well,
picked
so
up.
break it down for me. What's going on?
Okay, so I hope they can't hear me. So so the laundromat heist, you know, people were hitting the laundromat. I know them. You know, I'm not gonna bullshit you.
Yeah.
I was planning to help. We're doing
Okay.
a swap at Strawberry Gas. You know, where they go up the elevators. I pick them up on the top floor. All that
Okay.
jazz. I had the car parked.
Wait. Run it back. You're at the laundromat, top floor. Wait, I'm
I was never on the laundromat.
okay.
I was away. They called me to come pick him up.
Okay.
So they never got me at the I wasn't at the laundromat.
Yeah.
I was not associated with any of these people. The first time they saw
You
me,
don't
I
know
was
them?
parked. I mean, I do know them.
So
But
you
I
are
wasn't at the
associated
laundromat
with them.
with
Who are the individuals? Were they caught?
Yeah, they were caught. One of them was caught.
Okay. And how long have you known them for?
About a month and a half.
All right. So they're doing the laundromat and they call you up for a
Yeah.
pickup.
Yeah, basically.
All right.
And it was just one guy because he had all the shit on him. He goes up the elevators. I'm parked.
What
on the
elevators?
freeway. The elevators near Strawberry Gas.
The elevators by Strawberry Gas.
Yeah, so you pull up there, you walk up the elevators. You got a car
Wait.
parked at the top on the freeway.
Wait, what elevators are you talking about?
They're like, okay, so if you're filling up at Strawberry Gas, it's right underneath the freeway. There's escalator, not elevator. my
Oh,
bad.
escalator. Okay.
Escalator.
All
My
right.
apologies.
Escalators. All right.
My apologies.
So, okay. So you
Um,
park up top on top of the highway.
I'm
and
completely parked.
okay. And then he runs up.
And then a cop tackles him and cuffs him.
Yep.
He hasn't gotten in my
Forte.
car. He hasn't talked to me at all.
What is there, like a full moon tonight? I ain't seen you in forever.
He just
You
gets
never say
tackled.
hi
He
to me
doesn't break
anymore,
cuffs,
man.
so he gets
I
cuffed.
never
So
see
I'm like,
ya.
okay, there's nothing. Like
You're
I
too
can't
busy
fucking
doing
do
whatever
anything.
you
I'm not
do,
gonna
I
hop
don't
out
know.
and grab him.
Never call me.
You know.
You don't
Yeah.
call
So
me.
then they
Just call
box
me
me
every
in.
day.
I'm just parked there.
All right,
I
I can
haven't
start
talked to him at
harassing you
all.
again.
I
don't
haven't
mind it. It makes me feel
communicated with the
wanted.
guy. I'm literally just
Well, you are
parked on the
cheating on
freeway.
that lovely woman.
Jesus
Um,
Lord.
They box me in,
No, I'm not.
force me out the car,
100% you are.
and then
You're a
search me.
DJ for fuck's sake. I know you're
And
getting
I'm
some loose
saying
pussy at the club.
I guess the defense I was gonna go for before they could get me a lawyer because they said they
No,
couldn't.
I don't
you
care
are.
about the defense.
Hey, Claire, how you
yeah.
doing?
If I
How you
sound
doing?
short,
Yeah,
it's
get
because
in
I got to get to the point, right?
I got, no, I understand.
So-
Hey, thanks.
So you were parked there, and the guy was running towards your vehicle.
Yeah, well, up the escalator. I
Okay.
don't think you could say. he was
How
running
close
towards the
did he
vehicle
get
yet.
to your vehicle?
10, 15 feet away, I'd say. But he didn't open up the
Um,
car door or anything. I mean, it was a couple cars.
Wait, he
lengths away,
got how close?
like 10, 15 feet away,
Okay.
like at the top of the.
Were
elevators.
you given any instructions to drive off?
You gotta take chances.
by the cops? No, they immediately boxed me. They didn't ask me to leave.
They didn't communicate anything with you?
Hey,
Nope, they immediately boxed me and told me to get out the car.
Did you get out the car?
I did,
And then what?
and then they
hey Forte,
arrested
why
me
you
and
dressed like
searched me.
that?
I'm a detective.
They arrested you and searched
You know, that's
you.
crazy because that's also the first thing I said. And I also laughed.
Okay.
I hope
didn't
you're better
resist
than
the
Maeve
arrest.
and the guy that was attacked
didn't
by a
run,
bear. They didn't even know the
you know?
difference between RS and PC.
Hey, listen, I at least got.
Oh
that
my
now.
God.
I'll tell you that.
You know what, Forte? I think you actually know enough.
I'm pretty good.
Tell your friends. Anybody getting food?
I
Okay,
got extra food.
so
if you
Who
need
out
it.
of that?
I really
Who out of
appreciate
those
you.
4
Hey,
boxed
you want me to throw some food over
Crystal
the,
did.
the
It was
electrical
three
thing for
cars
you?
boxed me. I think Crystal was one of
Yeah,
them,
go
and I
for
think
it.
Forte was the other, and then there was a
Sorry.
third. I don't know.
Thing.
Who.
That's gonna be a whole process.
I'll throw my
You
gun
swear to
over
me
there,
that
too.
they haven't said
No,
anything. They
no.
just
Better have
They
a
didn't
boxed
ask
you
me
and
to
told
leave.
you
I
to
know
step out of the
that.
vehicle, and then
Yep.
they searched
if I
you
don't,
for
bitch?
what?
Yes.
What did they find?
They said
stop talking
this
about
was
that gun.
Forte's argument.
I
They
got
had
a gun.
probable cause.
No, no.
to
What
search
did
me
they
because
find you? No, no,
radio.
no, no, no. Look,
What would they
the
find?
reason I'm asking particular questions is because
Mhm.
they can say whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
But,
right. You keep
um,
standing there, bitch.
what did they find on you?
Yeah, there's nothing you
A
can do,
radio
bitch.
that had the same
Especially
channel.
because I got a license.
But that's it.
I didn't even
Nothing
look.
else
Did you see
illegal.
that?
Hey, great work,
And it
detective.
is the same radio channel we use for noodle shop employees. So I mean,
Really?
yeah, I work at the noodle shop. We have a radio for ourselves to communicate, like, oh, I'm going to pick
We
up cups.
closed
I'm
the
getting
court.
kimchi. You know.
Close this.
Okay.
Is that what it's
But that was it. I
Uh,
didn't have anything illegal on me or in my car that they gave a
Do you have any
VAF to for some
witnesses
reason.
that can
Not
claim
a
it's the
white
same
Your
radio
Honor, do I
channel?
have permission to mock the
I mean,
police?
the guy that got arrested.
Okay. Well,
Damn.
anyone
My
else?
name's Forte. Baby.
Probably Mike. He's the CEO of the noodle shop.
I'm
so
a
like that.
detective.
Michael
I wear a
Manx?
vest over a
Manx,
button-up
that's the guy.
shirt. Baby.
should be 21.7.
Yeah, I look pretty cool.
Hey, can you come down to the courthouse, please? Second floor. This is to help one of your buddies. It's regarding a radio
You just
channel
told me you're
that
interested in motor certification right
that you
now?
use for the noodle shop.
Which
I'm gonna
buddy
tell
is
Kyle
it?
to shut the fuck
What's your name?
I'm like the new
Hey,
Mac
hey,
Michael
what's your
Manx.
name?
Hey, what's up, Reverend?
Reverend.
Reverend.
Yes. Hey.
Oh, say less. I'll be
All
there.
right, thank you. Bye.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Cal, can you
Alright.
just shut the
Yeah, no
fuck
worries,
up?
brother. Thank you.
What's finally what did they say was the reason for
Oh,
the arrest?
Whoa, he just walked over the
They
bar.
said
That's
accomplice
crazy.
to laundromat. And
Okay.
then later on, when I argued you didn't have probable cause to search me in the first place, they tacked on reckless endangerment because I was parked on the freeway. And then they said that was the probable cause to search.
Okay. All right, easy.
Cool.
What else are you? Why is it so vague?
Could I get a list of charges for
Yeah.
my client, please?
What up, Kyle? Happy to see you around again, bro.
Sorry, Nino.
Yep.
What'd you say?
No worries. Could I get a list of the charges?
I wish it was under better
So
circumstances.
it is reckless endangerment and then
Alright.
to, I'm
There's not really
sorry.
too much going
Make
on
sure I
today.
say the
think
right
if I
term
check
because
out
things
the
have changed as you
Yeah.
are
It's a
probably
new
aware.
charge, yeah.
Everyone got arrested.
Accessory to robbery of a high security
yeah.
institution.
All right, just those 2 charges?
Just those 2 charges.
All right, fantastic. Could I get a copy of the report shared with me?
Yep. What is your?
Pretty sure we're all done with it, yeah?
It is going to be 1166.
You could just share it publicly if that makes it easier.
Beautiful. You should be good.
All right, let me see.
I shared it publicly, so it should be good.
It says it's the one that
It was
says
shared publicly.
laundromat robbery 7730.
Correct.
All right. Is there anything written in here?
Yes. A lot is written in there.
Oh,
That's
it might
probably
be.
just scuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just make a copy of that just in case.
This gauntlet. What is this?
Has anybody
The car
saved
he
it
was
yet? Try
driving.
saving it.
I got you.
Or a car
All
he
right.
was in.
What the fuck is this?
Resave it so refresh your page. Hopefully that will work. I'm tempting, Your Honor.
We
Thank
should
you.
make Nino aware of the VAF report as well.
There's also that. Let me get that up as well.
Bro, I'm losing brain cells. How the
That's
fuck
the one that,
did they arrest
there's
him
that
with
one.
this?
Correct. One of you finds it before me, please share it.
Like the whole VAF
I
report?
think we share the whole thing, just like what we.
It's gonna be, part of their stuff. So.
I don't think we could share the whole.
They're
VAF report.
texting that report now,
All right, let me see.
hopefully.
I may need a like a PDF copy or something
Yeah, let me get
because
that for you.
awesome, thank you. And who is the arresting officer?
It is Forte and myself.
And Forte, you placed him in cuffs and searched
I
him?
did. Yes.
Has been emailed to you.
Is that Aspen? Or Derulo?
I'm absolutely
I will
losing
preface
my
there's
mind
no,
that
like,
this has
photo
even
evidence
come
of
to
his
court.
belongings,
It's so
simply because
sad.
there was 0 taken off.
Holy fuck. All right. Okay, there we go. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. If there's any issues, let me know.
Thank you. Could I get the VAF report too? And I'm just going to need like 2 minutes. Just read through this real quick.
For the VAF report, I don't think he made like a separate report for it.
Oh,
but he did mention
okay.
in like the history and the documentation is in the same report.
Gotcha. Easy.
Yeah, so we don't make like separate reports usually for fast anymore. We store it all in one document when it's VAFed, and then the evidence of it will be in the initial report or incident.
I know we've had issues in the past with reference reports, so if that's what you're mentioning, then we need to export both.
No, all the evidence of why the vehicle would be getting VAFed should be in the.
Is in the main. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
I don't know how they looked at his
I love
radio
it.
channel. Why are they seizing it? I'm so fucking confused.
You're a detective. You're gonna be doing a lot of it.
Thanks, Kyle. Maybe if you
I
get
mean,
married, maybe
it's
there's a
kind of
position for me, you know?
it's kind of a bit of a
Oh, I'm
mix,
not gonna be
right?
there. Mr. Nino Chavez will be.
Oh well.
About his car and detained and identified as Mullins, along with the train station. The units looked at the radio channel, with Reverend Mullins mentioning the radio channel to be 21.7, the same radio as Heli H.
I'm just so glad you're here.
In opposing lanes of travel, with his trunk open. Reverend, come over here real quick.
Yes, sir.
Were you going to leave out the fact that you were in opposing lanes of travel and your trunk was open?
There was only one guy. I did forget I was in opposing lanes of traffic, but I could
Yeah,
just turn the car
and
around,
your
right?
trunk was open.
That was unintentional, but true. Yes.
All right. What do you want your defense to be?
What do you think would work best?
You get rid of reckless and you plead guilty.
Plead guilty to accomplice? For why? Just being on the same radio channel?
Listen, you're parked in the opposing lanes of travel. Your trunk is open. You're very clearly picking this guy up. Like, I don't know what you want to say here exactly.
Do you think that just being parked there is enough?
Yeah.
Really?
You're on the if you're driving in the opposite way, like you can't even make the argument that you just happen to be there. You're on the highway in the opposite direction. Like, why would you be doing that with the trunk open?
I didn't know the trunk was open. I didn't think it was. But
Yeah.
if they saw it open,
So,
then I guess that's what's in the report.
But like, what's the reason? What reasonable, like,
I pulled over to take a call.
Backwards?
Yeah, I whipped it around.
Why?
Because I'm a terrible driver. I was driving in the wrong lane of traffic.
Okay, do you know what reasonable belief is? Like, do you know what the word reasonable is?
Like reasonable suspicion?
Yeah,
What is
like
reasonable,
reasonable, or just the word reasonable, right?
Yeah.
So you can't, like, you know, you need to have like a
could've
believable
crashed.
story here.
You know, I mean, there's lots of things. Crashed, spun out, got hit by a tractor trailer, was trying to get on the train, was trying to do maintenance on the train. There's a big train track that runs through there. Like there's lots of reasons to be parked there. Cause it wasn't on the road. I pulled off. There's like a little area there. Like
I want you to, I think you should,
wish I could see the report.
listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a little frustrated because I feel like you left some of these details out.
I honestly didn't think that was that big of a deal, just being parked there.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
off
it
the
is
road,
because you're
right?
kind of like white lying, making it a little bit difficult for me to come up with a defense. To be honest,
that wasn't my intention. I apologize.
I understand. Okay.
I mean, even being pulled off, it should be fine, right? That's how I saw it. It wasn't like in the
No.
lane.
If you were like, listen, if you were like parked like with the flow of traffic, if your trunk wasn't popped open, right, then you actually had a bit of an argument. But if you're like in the opposite lane, the guy's running to your car, the fact that your trunk is open is massive because it looks like you're asking, like, producing a situation to allow him to jump in. Now, did they search you immediately?
Yes, immediately.
Okay, what do you mean by search exactly?
They put me in cuffs and searched my possessions.
Before or after they checked the radio?
Hey,
Like the same time.
There,
I'm sorry?
It was all. I said it was all at the same time. I
What-
was in
what-
cuffs like
what-
from the minute I stepped out.
I got you. Yeah, Pred, you can listen in on this.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I was going to ask for permission to listen in on
Yeah,
it.
so I'm just chewing him out a little bit because he left out some very critical details till I read the report. So
I didn't realize it was critical. That's on
yeah,
me though.
he pulls up opposite flow of traffic. His trunk is open. He's on their radio channel. So he left out those particular details.
I already told him that he should have cleared his channel the second the cops started making a move on him.
Yeah. The problem is like the radio channel is gonna be like plain sight, and you being now when did they search you? Like, what do you mean at the same time? Could you explain that?
Like, okay, so they asked me to get out the car. I did. I got put in cuffs and Mirandized, and then
Yeah.
they searched.
You were Mirandized and you were searched.
Yes.
What do you mean by that exactly? Like what? Like they like I'm kind of confused. So they just like immediately cuffed and searched you?
Yes. Yes.
And you felt them searching you, right?
Yes, I did. Forte, to be specific.
Do you know what came first, the radio channel or the search?
They searched me and then they did the radio channel.
Okay, I think there may be a defense here. Okay.
Might be a procedural violation. Might be
Mr.
procedural
Chavez.
error.
Yeah. Yes.
Is it possible for me to listen in?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Okay, fantastic.
So the only out you got here is we point for the fact that they searched you first and then check the radio channel and point at the fact that they never had probable cause for the search, and thus the radio channel, all that shit, it needs to be thrown out.
Okay. Whatever you think's best, Nino.
Sounds like they only had RS for detainment to ask him questions, but they didn't have PC for
How's
for
your day
body
been, Your
search.
Honor?
Exactly, and I think that's kind of going to be the angle. I think if had they checked the radio channel, right, they pulled you out to detain you, whatever, for their safety or whatever, and they had they checked the radio channel, then they could have built it up. But
Thanks for being here.
all right, well, just remember, next time you come to bench trial, just be prepared to defend yourself. All right.
Okay.
Very
Yes, sir.
unorthodox.
But
all
what
right.
should I have done instead? Just make
if
sure I
you
get a cell
anytime
rep
you
and
go
go
to
first?
anytime you go to bench trial by yourself, because if there's no lawyer, then you need to be prepared to put that defense up yourself. Otherwise, you're kind of wasting the court's time and everyone else's time. And while like
Yeah,
you have the right to
understandable.
do so, understand that it does like take away
Well, that-
from saps everyone's energy, including the courts.
Yeah.
And then there'll be the poor soul that's in the cells that has a case, has a lawyer, and there's no
And no one wants to
judges
go to.
because they're cooked. You know what I mean?
Hey, Nino, you
So-
should be
I
aware
did
of something.
plan, and
Yesterday,
they encouraged me to take it to bench.
There was a precedent kind of set that procedural errors in the field and a lack of an ability for the cops to articulate the reasoning
Yeah.
was enough to kind of void the charge, even though it was kind of dead to rights. them not being able to articulate as to why they're and being breaching and not even the lack of ability to follow their own procedure equaled a not guilty on the charge yesterday. So you should be aware of that.
Shit. Okay. All right.
I
So
did
maybe even just
specifically
being able
ask.
to prove that procedurally they fucked up might be enough to, in fact, just void the charge altogether. Like he's still, like, because cops can't operate in good faith because good faith doesn't exist.
Yeah. I did ask for what the reasoning for being arrested was and what the reasoning for being searched and detained was, and they didn't really tell me shit.
Wait, this also says the suspect said, "Just go, bro. I'm cuffed."
For driving. Like when they were driving. Wait, the suspect said that? Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
Just making sure that there's no holes here. Okay. All right. Let's give it a shot. And it looks like what's his name doesn't have a statement up either. So, all right. Your Honor, we are prepared.
All right, are we ready to proceed?
Yum.
Only about an hour after the request was made. Let's go.
All
right, report's been shared. Everything's good. We're ready to proceed, right? Both ends.
The prosecution is ready.
Defense.
We are ready.
Cool. All right. Any last words? Any if, shits, fucks, butts, penis? Any swear words?
Your Honor, we got a individual that we'd like
Did you
to.
yell sorry?
Oh yes. We got the individual in red. He works at the noodle shop. We'd like to bring up as a witness.
Okay. That swear words though. Any last swear words?
Well, can we not use them during the trial, Your Honor?
Nope. I have a 3 swear jar rule. You cannot use, if you use 3 or more than 3 swear words, you're getting contempt.
Okay, fair enough.
What do you consider a swear word?
I guess I'll go through the list. Fuck, shit, bitch,
Wait, that's it?
fuck. No, I already said that. Penis. No, penis is dick.
What about if
not
the person's
penis.
Australian and the word is cunt? Because that's a lot like aloha to them.
It depends on the context. If you were to go up and say that's cunt, then that's fine. But if you say
No, but Australians
you're a
don't say that,
cunt,
so respect.
if you say
That's like
you're a cunt, that's different. What are those swear words?
Okay, I
don't
think
know,
I
man.
understand. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, cool. Damn, I don't like damn. That's a loose one.
About hell.
Hell, yeah. Say double. They say HE double hockey sticks, please.
Okay, H double hawk. Oh, say what the heck?
Or heck. All right, proceeding. Okay. All right, we're here to call into session the people versus Reverend Mullins on account of 2 charges. First, before I do any of that, let me go ahead and get everybody who is going to.
Yeah, of
testify
course.
please
Yeah, that's
raise
why I'm
their
like
hand.
triggered as fuck that it's like this.
Whatever hand you believe is closer to God.
So you don't have to. You're good.
Nobody. That nobody?
We're raising your hands, Your Honor.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't see.
Oh, I'm totally raising
Oh.
our hands.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
totally over here.
Wait, move around. Okay, now raise your hand. That was awkward.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. That's why I don't buy into the like the poor
Forte
reverend
testifying?
bullshit. Because like, if you
Yes,
call
Your
a
Honor.
bench
Question, Your
trial,
Honor.
you're saying I
All right,
personally am gonna defend it,
Everybody keep their hands
and then
raised.
hoping
You
a
swear
lawyer
to
shows
affirm
up to
that
save
the
your
testimony that
asses.
you're gonna be
A
receiving
waste of
today
the
or
time
giving
for the
today
judges,
is
the
the truth and
lawyers,
whole truth,
the
nothing but
cops.
the truth.
It's
So help you in the
very.
case of penalty
I
of
hate that
perjury.
shit.
Mac Daddy Ripnut.
Swear.
Swear.
I swear.
Mine's under.
No, he
Han, though.
wasn't. He wasn't gonna defend himself. Otherwise, he would
Okay.
have.
I didn't say
No, you know we ain't about that. Okay,
that. I
okay.
didn't say that. All right. We'll go ahead and proceed. Mr. Reverend Mullins, you stand.
This is gonna
accused of the
defend himself.
following
He would have been
charges.
defending
I
himself
want you to
before we
enter
arrived.
a guilty or not guilty plea. For count 1, reckless evading or correction, reckless endangerment.
Yes, Your Honor.
Not
or
guilty.
Not guilty.
No, not guilty. My
Okay.
apologies.
He said yes, Your Honor. It's confusing. And count 2, accessory to robbery of a high security institution.
Not guilty, Your Honor.
Speak up.
Not guilty. Not guilty.
All right. Say it with chest. Okay. He didn't. He now has not said anything.
No, did you not hear me?
No.
Just say it with each other. Like say it loud.
Yeah.
Say it loud, like
Not
you mean
guilty.
it.
Say it
Not
like you mean it.
guilty.
There you go. A little bit nasally there. Clear your sinuses, kid. All right. With that being said, here's how the usual bench trial flow is going to work. We have representation.
Do not
here.
add any fluff to your
So
answers.
I'm
All
fine
right.
with doing a. In fact, I'll ask a question. Do we want to ask questions?
Big dude,
or
thank
do
you
we
for 2
want to
months.
Give narrative statements. have a lot of
Questions.
people here.
Questions would be nice. I'll try to keep them succinct.
Prosecution, do you have any objections to that?
1 second. Let me converse with someone who is in Forte.
I'm not good in court.
Who searched you?
Forte.
Okay. Who checked the radio channel?
Forte.
What was when you say which happened first?
Yeah.
The search happened first or the radio happened first?
The search. I'm positive. He said, "I'm going to search you," and then he searched me.
Okay.
We are good with the questions,
for the record,
Your Honor.
I did try to get you
All right.
before you.
Then the bench
before
trial
all
flow is
this.
going to
Say
work
again?
as follows.
I said I did
The
try to get a
prosecution
lawyer
is gonna
before
call
the
their
bench
first
trial,
witness.
but
The witness is
That's
going to
fine.
give
But the
a,
moment you can't bench trial, you're representing
answers
yourself.
pertinent to the questions that are being
understood.
asked before
Understood.
them.
I apologize.
Yep.
And then they'll be allowed.
You don't have
for
to apologize
cross
to me.
and
You got to
allowed for
apologize to
redirect
everybody.
if
You know what I
needed.
mean?
Hopefully
I know
we
that
redirect
they should have
those
given you that guidance as
I
well.
do know that we have
Yeah.
2 people testifying on the prosecution end, as well as 2 people on the defense end. That's cool. Let's try not to take a very large amount of time, though. Let's try to get to the facts of the case. It's only 2 charges, so I don't expect it to take that long.
Yeah.
With that being said, consent rules. I've already said no swearing. Also, just any distractions in general. If it's extremely distracting to the case, I will get you together. In fact, Kyle, do you want to be bailiff? Okay.
I can do that for you, Your Honor, if
Alright,
you
fair
want.
enough. Yeah, I usually pay my bailiffs. That was a subtext.
Yeah, I do need money.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
All right, you're just gonna maintain order in this court, okay?
Can I request that one of the cops give me their nightstick in order to help me lay down the law in the courtroom, Your Honor?
That sounds like a whole lot of not my issue.
God damn it.
Okay, someone's already volunteered.
Oh
Go ahead.
fuck, we're missing
Personal
the
next year, I'll
thingy.
give it right back.
Yeah, I saw the
Someone
news,
already
man.
voluntold.
My share.
It's not the share.
Forget it.
All right, with that being said, we'll go ahead and get started with the flow. Prosecution, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Call it.
All right,
Prosecution
Derulo, proceed
calls
forward
myself.
to the floor.
Woo! Yeah, prosecution calls myself. Wow, that's
God.
me. Just stand here. Is that good enough?
Why didn't nobody else do that for you?
Why don't you go up and sit?
Still figuring out what they're doing over there.
All right.
Okay,
Do
hey.
they know that they have to ask you questions?
Yes, I did clarify with them that. That's why I asked to speak to them.
Does Helly H work at
You want
the
to take
noodle
a
shop?
seat in the chair,
Yes, he
Derulo?
does.
Okay.
Why are they all in the scared corner? They're all like
They're-
huddling.
We call
huddling
that
into
the
To my
each other.
cut
knowledge.
corner, Your
Is there
Honor.
like a
They're protecting
To
me
your
from
knowledge?
talking, sir.
I think he farms
Your Honor,
for
basically,
them.
yeah.
My apologies.
oh
Well,
my-
actually, I know. He farms, and I think
You
he
work
works there
best.
occasionally. But he must
okay.
have
Do you have like a
but he
list of
supplies
like
it.
who works?
All
and
right.
who doesn't?
I mean, I can name
Rolo,
them.
I've already
I don't have,
swore
like,
you
a full
in.
list.
I need your
Okay.
name.
Holy
Hello,
I know for a
Jesus.
fact
Sonia
he farms for
DeRollo,
him.
Call sign 202.
Date of birth.
March 14th, 1997.
Fun fact about yourself.
People call me Derulo, like Jason Derulo, but that's really not my name.
All right, Sonia Derulo, you may proceed with questioning at this time for the prosecution.
Oh, it's. I thought she's giving a narrative first and then question.
It's just questions. Just go.
Questions only, Crystal.
We're doing questions
Okay.
only because we have representation here.
All right. What was going on at the laundromat?
Laundromat was being robbed.
Okay. By who?
Well, there were 4 people there.
Okay, hold on.
Oh.
Miss Clear, how much experience in court do you have?
I think I've been to court about 4 times. That was years ago, but it's gonna be my first time in like 5 years or 6, 7 years.
We're gonna treat this with a little bit of learning court, okay, Nino?
Yep,
I
no
don't want you
worries.
to be too hard on them, okay? I mean, get your point across still, but don't.
I'm not going to be, unnecessarily objecting.
All right, cool. Yeah, proceed.
Did I get something wrong with that question?
There was about 5 different objections. That
Oh, is
could've
it
been
too?
Be more specific, Claire.
More specific? Okay. Oh, I got that. How many people were inside the laundromat at the time of the robbery?
There were 4 masked individuals who were robbing it, and then there was 1 female with pink hair with her hands up.
Were any of these individuals robbing the bank armed?
The individuals were not robbing the bank, they were robbing the laundromat, but they were armed with knives and wrenches, and also their voice. They were armed with their voices, the worst weapon of them all.
Can you recall what they were wearing?
Yeah, one was where it had purple hair and had like a weird visor like cut below his hair. There's another one that was where it also had purple hair, but more in like dreads with goggles. There was another male. There's hopefully some pictures. I took some pictures. Another male with no mask, with the short haircut, wearing all black. And then there was another male that was masked who I can't remember what he was wearing.
Mask or no mask?
Okay.
No mask, Pred. N-O.
You said there was a female with her hands up. Were you able to identify who the hostage was?
Yes, the hostage was Princess Petunia. I also grabbed her statement.
What was her statement?
She was at the tow yard to see a friend, and then these masked individuals came up, put a knife to her, and said, "Get in the car!" And then she broke some nails, and she's really upset about that.
Okay. What did the robbers negotiate for?
They wanted the Los Santos special. No spike strips and free passage.
Wait. Where's the violence in the robbery?
Passage to what?
Wait, there's no violence in the robbery.
We will not just open fire on them immediately as soon as they walk out the doors to their car. We're allowing them to get into
What vehicle did you see on scene?
It was a gray Sentinel XS.
After negotiations were made, what
Bitch,
happened?
there literally is none. They didn't charge him with kidnapping.
Alright, after the negotiations were made, the hostages went to a group. They talked to some people on the radio. They were seen by myself as well as other officers on scene talking on the radio. And then they got all finished what they were doing. And normally they give us like a time frame, like, 5
Nina,
minutes
can I get a
or like
word
10
in a
minutes.
second?
And so we normally hang around,
I need to
chit-chat
listen.
with them until they're prepared.
Yep.
You do Forte?
The blanket charge
If
would
you don't
be
mind, Crystal, I can start.
would be
asking the
dumb
questions.
as fuck because
Just
that
about
would
everything.
imply that
Oh no, I got.
if you just go in there, then you can just charge them with a
Officer
violent.
Derulo, were you a part of the pursuit once they left the laundromat?
I don't think
attached
there's
as a
any
parallel
precedence
unit,
on
me
that.
And Officer Forte stayed behind to get the hostage statement and clear the building, and then we attached to a parallel.
That means if you go and tamper with the alarm, what, you get a VAF
You
immediately?
follow them. There were times in the pursuit we were part of the main pursuit.
Okay. And during the pursuit, were there times the robbers swapped into vehicles?
So during the pursuit, there was multiple swaps. There was 2 to be exact. Well, 1.5. The first one was when they swapped into a black gauntlet right around, oh gosh, where's that? Kind of like where Calais goes back and towards the airport, that little drop down near Greenwich. They dropped into a black Sentinel. And then there was an attempted one at the Strawberry
And
gas
he's
station
not
parked
there.
below, and the male with no mask specifically ran up and officers pursued.
Once officers pursued up the what transpired?
As soon as they parked below the little rail, like I don't know how to explain it, the escalator to Olympic, it was immediately called out on radio. Officers drove up to Olympic Freeway, right where that little staircase exits out, and they called out that there was a white Sentinel parked the opposing lanes of travel. with
White
its trunk popped
Sentinel.
open.
Just for clarification, what was the vehicle again?
It was a white Gauntlet. I'm sorry. White Gauntlet, blue rims.
Was the gauntlets occupied?
It
By
was
anyone?
occupied by one individual, someone in the front with a mask on.
How was that vehicle parked on Olympic Freeway?
It was parked pretty much right next to the railing, maybe, oh gosh, 1 or 2 feet away from the railing on the yellow line, facing opposing lanes on Olympic Freeway.
What was
And
the?
did you identify
sorry.
who was operating the vehicle?
Yes, it was the current defense reverend who was occupying the vehicle. In the driver's seat.
I mean, there's no case here, guys.
Was
Yeah,
the individual with the black hoodie?
yeah. Like, you got to
What was
keep in
his
mind,
name
like,
again?
you can't make arguments that the
Once he ran up
aliens
the steps.
did this and that.
Officers called out that he was running up the steps. Some were in pursuit on
This
foot.
that's where people, a
when he
lot of
was-
people fail to
he was
understand,
running
is that you
directly
can't
towards the gauntlet,
manufacture
beelining,
extreme
and when he was about 10
potential
feet away,
scenarios.
he was tased and placed into custody.
You would taste? Were you tased?
No, I didn't
Okay.
resist.
All right.
It's okay that you're shy. It's okay.
Doing great, Crystal.
We are not covering why he's here. Hey, Crystal, you got this. You're doing great. You're literally doing so good. So,
Did you detain the driver of that gauntlet?
I did not. Our vehicles we parked so that the Gauntlet, if it decided to pick up the suspect, if it decided to drive away, we parked it so that it could not. We were pretty much just kind of boxed it in, if you want to call it that. The driver was commanded to get out of the vehicle. He complied, and then he was placed into cuffs by Santino Forte and detained for the time being.
Forte's first name Santino?
That is correct.
Why?
They also never
why-
said I was detained. They just said I'm
Why was
under
he
arrest.
detained?
He was detained due to his vehicle being parked illegally on a freeway.
Who said that?
That the speed limit is
Forte.
over 90 miles per hour.
At what point?
And then for
As
further
soon as I got out
investigation
the-
of possibly being
out the
connected.
car and they put me in cuff. They didn't say you're detained. They said you're arrested. You're under arrest.
When he was detained, what was, how do I?
Hey, I'm being a bailiff in a bench trial.
You're right in my ear, Fred.
one sec. Did the driver listen to the commands given by the officer?
Go ahead. You might want to give the baton back. Okay, never mind.
Gotta go.
Sorry, I'm watching.
All right, repeat that question. I'm sorry. I had a
Thank
Kyle.
you.
Yes, Your Honor.
My ears.
When the officer gave commands to the driver of the gauntlet, how did the driver respond?
Originally, the driver was very confused, but he complied completely. He got out of the vehicle. He was placed into custody with no problem, and then got his mask taken off, that sort of thing.
At this time,
Did you?
No, go ahead, Crystal. It's all you.
No,
Crystal, please be my guest.
Before giving my testimony, that I'll get fined or punished in any sort of way.
Go ahead.
Testimony.
Oh, I understand. Okay. So once the driver was in custody, let me rephrase that. Was the suspect that was running up the stairs in custody at this time?
That was correct. He was placed in custody by, I believe, Officer Riker.
When that suspect was searched, what was found?
It was, I don't recall his possession specifically, but it was called out over radio to make sure that we check radio channels, and then I believe they 311, maybe? I can't recall completely the radio channel from the original suspect.
What was that? What was
the
that
Reverend
radio channel?
The radio channel was 21.7.
And was that relayed to the driver of the gauntlet? In parallel with the driver of the gauntlet?
I was asked that they also check the radio channel of the other individual.
Did they have the same fucking channel? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. Did someone check the radio channel of?
Did the driver of the vehicle and the suspect that was being pursued have the exact same radio channel?
Correct. They had the same radio
I'm
channel.
gonna object here. Facts not in evidence. There's no evidence documenting any of that. It's going to just be statements manufactured by the prosecution.
Our rebuttal with that on scene, it is documented that was given verbally.
I think that's when we have you up there.
That's fine. He's asking rebuttal.
Yeah, I'm rebuttaling to his fact
I don't know what rebuttal is.
Crystal,
sorry.
you're fine.
Okay, Crystal, you're doing okay. You're doing great.
It was given verbally. I could not see it. Well, I'll testify to that when it comes to me. But it was. I'm just gonna let it go. I think actually.
Okay, so if you're letting it go, then it's gonna be sustained.
Oh.
Then why don't you guys speak
Yes,
up?
we're fine with it being sustained. Thank you,
Oh my
Your Honor.
God.
Perfect. I will work on that after this, so you're good.
Okay.
It's sharper to my ear.
Yeah, that's gonna be sustained. We can document radio channels, y'all. In fact, you already have in this case.
We'll testify about it. You're good.
So,
You're good.
Well, that's the problem, is that it's being testified to as a creation of material fact.
The objection is it's scuff, unfortunately.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Are we like for sure on that? Like,
it's more.
Wait.
We like, for example, we were saying like, we're gonna check your radio channel, but we weren't really given it, so we asked for it verbally instead.
Wait. Wait. What
Nino,
happened?
so what's happening is the officers on scene, when they were asking for the radio channel, it was not given physically; it was given verbally.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah, of course.
Gotcha. So yeah, with that being said, I'm more inclined to just to allow the argument, if you are, Nino.
I gotcha. Okay. So to be clear, this man stated what the channel was.
Yes, he
Okay.
stated it because it was not physically apparent. You know what I mean?
I understand. I think it's still very relevant, and I don't want it referred to as scuff because he could have said 69.69 if he so chose.
Are you saying that as if it would be a lie?
It was more so
yes.
when we asked to check it.
Yeah, you know what? Let's say let's not even entertain it. Was it checked or was it not checked? And then he responded.
The
Is
issue
that
is
what I'm understanding?
So from my understanding, it was checked. It
Okay.
was supposed.
I got you. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
So
It's a
they
tricky
didn't
one
say
to
what
explain,
channel are you on. It was they checked the channel and.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Gotcha. With that being stated, I'll go ahead and allow the argument because of how it is. If it was physically checked, then for all purposes, it was physically
agreed.
checked. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That makes sense.
Cool. All right. With that said,
No,
we
it's
can go ahead
not.
and,
They.
overrule that.
This is
And
why
the,
you have to. You
the
should be
rest of the
slashing it.
As far as my knowledge, yes, they're on the same radio channel.
Objection hearsay.
Rebuttal.
Wait, what?
Any rebuttal there, prosecution?
Wait, what was the thing? I missed it.
Hearsay was the objection.
They just gotta wait.
Objection to what?
So we have documentation of the person that we arrested, which is going to be Heli H, of his radio station being 21.7, as well as we checked the defendant's Reverend Mullins radio channel, which came back to a 21.7.
Okay. I don't need to hear one from you, Nino. One, a question wasn't even asked. So let's get down to that. Let's make sure that the only things that are being testified to are the questions that are being asked to you, Mr. Rolo. And two, it is hearsay because she, in her statement, said, "As far as I know," that implies hearsay in itself. So with that, that's going to be sustained on both levels. Please, when you are asked a question, please testify then and don't use.
Sorry,
as
Your
far
Honor.
as
I was
know.
confused as I didn't know where we were.
Yeah, you're fine. Let's get back to a question format, please.
Yep. The thing is, Forte is the main person. I so want to help the cops. The cops are doing fine. It's that they just don't know that, like, they really only need Derolo and the other cops to, like, say, there was a robbery, there was these people, we saw the car, but then Forte should be doing most of the answering in regards to the
I was
arrest.
asking to have more questions if you have them to present them.
Oh, more questions. I got you.
Yeah, I've written down
Radimus, thank you for the Prime sub.
Oh, did I already ask? But did you see the robbers at laundromats on the radio?
I did.
I'm good with my questions. You guys got any? I think that's all the questions we got for now.
All right. With that being said, I'll allow for the defense to give their cross.
Fuzzy, thank you for the Prime sub. All right. How you doing today, Officer DeRolo?
Chilling.
Did you arrest? Give me 1 second. I gotta open the other document. There we go. All right. All right. Did you
just leave?
Yeah. And don't pick up.
Give me 1 second. Why did he just leave?
He said he had to go do something.
Okay. Do you want to just plead guilty to all these charges then? Like, what's going on?
No, I don't.
Okay, so
but he said he had to go.
Okay.
But I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that.
Well, you tell him stop being a fucking pussy. You're about to go to jail.
Yep. I tried. He said he had to go.
Oh my Jesus Christ. All right. All right. Jesus fucking Christ. All right. Okay. Did you arrest Mr. Haley H or Heli H?
I was not his arresting officer.
Did you arrest Mr. Reverend Mullins?
I'm associated with his arresting officer as we were riding together.
I see. So you witnessed the arrest, but you did not arrest him yourself?
Correct.
Okay. Did you check the radio channel that is referenced in the report?
I did not.
Okay. Did you search the vehicle?
I did not.
Did you run the plates?
I did not.
Did you see Mr. Mullins at this laundromat?
I did not.
Have you used a civilian radio?
I have.
Is the range of the radio the same as the range of the PD radio?
I'm unaware of the range.
I see. Is the PD radio range, does it function across the island? I'll be more specific. If a officer is in Paleto and they radio in to an officer at the docks by Mayweather, would the communication go through?
Yes.
If you were to do the same with the civilian radio, would the communication go through?
I'm unaware.
Okay. So under testimony, you're stating that you have used a civilian radio, but you are unsure whether the ranges are comparable.
Correct.
Okay. Does being on a radio infer a crime has been committed?
Depending on the circumstances.
Does the act of using a radio alone infer a crime has been committed?
No.
Okay. All right. Give me 1 second here. Were you the driver or the passenger of the vehicle with Forte?
I was the passenger.
Okay. Robbery of
You
a
don't want
fine.
to see me behind a car like a wheel. I try, but it's not good.
Understandable.
You can make that court record. I am not a good driver.
I understand. Is there training for driving in the police department?
Specifically on driving and driving alone? I don't know.
Objection scope?
Objection scope, yeah.
Well, Your Honor, the scope
Yeah,
was
rebuttal.
opened by her. In addition, there is a reckless endangerment charge, which, given that she was with Forte here, her assessment of what is and is not reckless may be quite relevant to this case, as she's stating herself that she's not a good driver while employed by the Unified Police Department.
Rebuttal from prosecution.
Reckless endangerment is just, we're just going off the charge and what we've seen as law enforcement officers. What it's been used in the past cases.
Right.
We believe fully that what we witnessed is reckless endangerment.
Okay. Well, we
I think we sort of got off on a tangent there with that prosecution. Do you want to try again?
yeah,
Focus on
absolutely,
the relevant part of
absolutely.
the scope?
Did Forte arrest Mr. Mullins?
He put him in cuffs.
Okay. Did he arrest him?
He read him his rights and put him in cuffs. Yes.
Okay,
Put him under
so,
arrest.
I'm asking a very yes or no question. Did Forte arrest Mr. Mullins?
Yes, he did.
Thank
There
you.
go. I got you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you. You know, putting someone in cuffs is not an arrest. Is that correct?
I am aware what detainment is. Thank you.
Okay. I'm asking you this question since the last one seemed to be confusing. When was the arrest made?
I'm unsure.
Okay. So how do you know an arrest was made?
We are standing here now.
Okay. So your only awareness as to Mr. Mullins being arrested was that he is here in court.
So where he was arrested on scene, I was not directly next to any of the officers. I maintained, make sure everyone was safe on scene. That is what my role was.
I see.
I do not have any knowledge of what transpired.
Okay. So the only, just for clarity's sake, you're only, despite you being with Mr. Forte here, the only reason you know he's under arrest is because of his presence here at this court case and the charges presented on him?
No.
Would you elaborate?
I'm trying to make sure I don't do a narrative, so I'm phrasing it in my head. While on scene, I saw the individual named Reverend placed into cuffs. And then I made sure that everything was being taken care of, that the other 95 was doing all right, that they didn't need medical. Rest of the information and the incidents was handled by the officers who were near that individual.
Okay.
Yes, I was riding with him, but he went one way, I went the other to allocate officers appropriately.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm going to ask one clarifying question, and that's going to be it. As far as you're aware, you only, up until, as far as you're aware, you only saw Mr. Mullins being placed in the cuffs. Is that accurate?
I saw him in the driver's seat. He was commanded out by officers. I saw him after he was taken out of he himself got out of the car, placed into cuffs, and then they walked a little bit away from it.
All right. Okay. Thank you, LBO.
Howdy, Kyle.
All right.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay, this is actually way better than I thought it'd be.
I will allow for redirect at this time.
You are cooking, brother.
All right, cool. Not a whole lot happened.
Knox, thank you for the 29 months.
Very cozy.
Happens after.
No, she's doing fine. At least she's not lying.
No cross, Your Honor.
Wonderful.
A lot of other officers would lie under this case.
It's called redirect, by the way.
They have to have a discussion about that.
What's up, Darla?
All right, they have no more redirect, Your Honor. It's wonderful.
Okay. All right, cool. At this time, Darola, you can step down.
I'll make sure the other half of it goes quickly on my side. Prosecution calls Santino Forte to the stand.
There you go. All right, you've already been made aware of your. You've already been sworn in, rather. Go ahead and proceed with your name,
Santino Forte,
date of birth,
December 14th, 1995.
fun fact about yourself.
I'm a musician.
Any other fun facts? Like anything like fun?
What do you consider fun, Your Honor?
I don't know.
He's cheating on his girlfriend, Your Honor.
Jesus
There you go.
Lord.
There you go. There you go.
I'm not.
Can you explain that?
No, because it was brought into court like 3
He
days
literally
ago.
told her that they weren't official. and
Well,
they
it's
lived
official by
together, Your
Judge
Honor.
Gatsby. It's actually
Judge Gatsby did make a
it's
court
actually
record.
on the record now.
Jesus.
Yeah.
He did say that he didn't love her, which was a little.
Oh my god.
We're dating. We're not married.
Dating means to. Okay. Go ahead.
What?
Officer Forte, did you respond to the laundromat today?
Yes, I did.
How many individuals were there?
There's 4 individuals inside the laundromat with 1 female hostage.
Were there any cars parked out front?
Yes.
What was it?
I think it was like a gray Sentinel.
What was your role at the laundromat?
It was negotiations.
Where were you positioned?
I was inside the laundromat for ease of hearing everybody. Usually it goes pretty well, but that was my position.
Did you see anyone on the radio in the laundromat?
I did.
Hey, can you call down that guy?
Were you involved in the
call him
pursuit of the
Yeah.
vehicle?
He's in the yellow pages. Let him know that he
After
better
collecting the
come down
hostage,
here,
giving
otherwise
the
he's gonna
statement,
fuck his
clearing
friend.
the laundromat. Yes, I was.
Okay, he did not want to testify because he didn't want his restaurant to have some radio.
He's a
Did any of
dumbass.
the
That
suspects
is
exit
irrelevant.
the vehicle during the pursuit?
I caught him.
Yeah.
Yes.
When?
I believe one time there was a black sentinel involved, and the second time
There's no way they're trying to
was
protect
running
a radio
upstairs at
channel that's
Strawberry
already
gas station,
in court record.
underneath the train station, subway station.
Just to confirm, you said a black sentinel and then to the subway station.
Yes, ma'am.
There's no way, right? That's not what they're saying, right?
Did you witness anyone running around the subway station?
Yes, I did.
Who was the individual?
The reason why Nino's getting triggered
it
at
was
them
the
is that
suspect
they're
that I
not
called out
being
as the
honest
primary
with their
suspect
attorney
when we were leaving
and playing games.
the laundromat.
Yeah.
As we always do, we try to look for something that is most suspicious or somebody could get the most out from certain situations, and that suspect was the black hoodie with no mask, wide shoulders,
Where did he run to?
straight up the ramp from the bottom of the strawberry stairs, straight up.
Where does that staircase lead?
Yeah.
Top
Nino
of the
doesn't
freeway.
play no games. Like, he's going to protect attorneys.
Is that location a known swap in quotation?
Happens every day, multiple times.
His
Did
objections
you
are
go to
shit
Olympic
content.
Freeway?
I did.
Did you see
Objections
any
are for
waiting
boring
cars
court
there?
cases.
I did.
Where was the waiting car parked?
Right on
Objection.
it was opposite lanes of travel.
Objection.
Yeah, speak up.
sorry.
Nino, you have to speak up.
The objection is going to be the questions here are very narrative based. She just stated, where was the vehicle waiting?
Oh, rephrase.
All right, sustain. Rephrase.
Where was the vehicle?
I was opposite lanes of travel, on the left side of the freeway, on oncoming lanes, and it was where was it waiting? I don't know what the vehicle was. Sorry, just thinking out loud. I was about, give or take, 5 feet away from the train station railing. We can hop onto the rails itself.
Where did you park your vehicle?
I parked my vehicle on the driver's side door with my ram bar just touching it. Did not ram it hard, barely scratched it. I don't think I even scratched it because it was called out that we need to box this vehicle by other officers. And therefore I did.
What are the speeds in the freeways in the city? The legal speeds?
Pretty sure nowadays it's 90 miles an hour.
$90 miles an
Did you
hour.
see any people on Olympic?
Could you clarify people?
See any not cops on Olympic?
Yes, I did.
How many?
Numerous civilians driving by.
There was no response, Mr. Chavez.
Okay.
Did you witness anyone being... Sorry, I'm thinking about how I want to phrase this. Did you recognize any people that you saw?
Other than my colleagues and us. Other than my colleagues and the person that was the main person being arrested, main suspect, no.
Was the vehicle on the freeway occupied?
It was.
Did the driver or the person inside the vehicle leave the vehicle?
They did, peacefully. I was the one giving them commands to step out the passenger side because it was the safest route, because my car was nudged into their doorway. And they said they couldn't get out. And I said, why don't you just slide over? I'll meet you on the other side. They did.
Just for visual, you were on the railing side of Olympic.
Yes.
Okay.
Autobahns do have, the Autobahn does have a
I'm
speed
thinking of
limit.
how to phrase this.
It has areas that there is no speed limit. I used to live in Germany. There's segments that speed limit is not present, and then there's segments there are.
What level of offense is reckless endangerment?
It is classified as a felony.
Did you place anyone under arrest?
I did.
Who?
The defendant, Reverend Mullins.
Why?
I had reason to believe that he was conducting unsafe traffic, and it was unsafe, and so I need to get him out, as well as also being a possible suspect in the laundromat escape.
That's
Did
a
you search
literal
him
breakdown
after he was
lane.
arrested?
I did.
What did he have on him?
Nothing illegal. He had a wrench, which I just said, I'm not going to touch it. As long as you don't touch it, I'm not going to
I'm
touch
letting
it.
him cook. I'm
He
letting
agreed.
him.
He had an ID. He had a phone. He had a tablet. He had some keys. He had his wallet. Nothing out of the ordinary. He had a unicorn, and he had a penny. When we talked about the penny.
Did you
And a
witness?
radio.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I should probably mention that.
Did you
And a
witness him use
radio.
the radio.
I did.
Did you check the radio channel?
I did.
He was arrested in advance.
What was the channel?
I attempted to visually see it, but
This is
crystal
such
clear,
bad
officer,
faith.
or deputy.
It
excuse me,
is.
crystal clear.
The
was able to
problem is,
confirm it.
I don't know that this is
To me,
always
I'm
the
probably gonna mix
question
these
is
numbers up wrong, just
whether
out of memory,
PD
21.7 or 27.1.
whether PD like.
But when that was relayed over radio, it was called out that that matches the suspect that was the primary target from the laundromat.
Sorry, I'm just hearing maniacal. Some crazy laughter behind me, and then my brain's going, "What? Laughter?"
Oh my lord, dude! I can't believe they upgraded right to a felony for someone being in a breakdown lane. Yeah, working backwards is extremely bad faith.
Did the
I don't
vehicle
think
have
they
anything
realize that you can't
out
be
of the
doing that. That's the thing. That's why you can't really punch down too much on this, because
You mean possessions?
it's just really
Maybe
poor
specific.
training. Yo, Vanity, thank you for the 9 months.
What did the vehicle look like?
Mediwiggle.
There's a white gauntlet with some cool rims.
If I could have you look at, as well as everyone else wants to look at, the photo gauntlet on scene.
So I don't do a lot of objections, because when I'm in a court case and I hear objection,
We know when you
to
guys
me,
have that.
it's like boring
I do.
content for everybody. So
Is
the
this the
only
gauntlet
time
you
I
were
object
describing?
is if I think it's like really
Yes, 'cause
vital
that is the front end of
to
my car
as
well.
like a point,
Clarify
like a
that is
road I
your
don't want them to
car
go down.
by the door.
Yes, because
But right now, most of this is irrelevant. I'm letting them open up the scope as well.
That was my position during what I described earlier.
Did you have visual of the driver in the gauntlet the entire time?
I did.
Nothing further.
Be right back.
All right.
It's not returned.
Defense cross-examination.
He picked up.
All right. In trial. Okay. How you doing, Forte?
Good, good. Yourself?
All right. I'm doing all right.
Good.
So, were you did you respond to the call at the laundromat?
I did.
Let's see. Did you arrest Mr. Helly H?
I did not.
Did you witness the Reverend Mulligan over here at the laundromat?
No.
Did you arrest him?
I sure did.
What did you arrest him for?
He was under detainment for the reasonable suspicion of being involved in a laundromat, as well as.
I'm asking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What
Sorry.
was he arrested for originally?
What was his original charge?
What was he originally placed under arrest for?
Accessory to a laundromat.
Okay.
Is that a charge accessory to a
Well, it's
laundromat?
changed now. It's new.
Okay. So you arrested him for accessory to a laundromat. Okay. You stated in your testimony just now that you inferred you arrested him for something else. Did you arrest him for reckless endangerment, or did you originally arrest him for accessory to a laundromat, quote unquote?
Reckless endangerment came first. I will
Reckless endangerment came first.
admit. Yes, sir.
Okay. So why did you just testify that he was originally arrested for accessory to robbery of a laundromat?
To be honest, I think I got my thoughts mixed up.
I see. Do you often get your thoughts mixed up?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I'd
Jesus
like to
Christ, hold
motion to dismiss this entire case. If this individual can has already stated that he's unsure what the original arrest was for, that throws everything out the window. Is
Let me get
is the report accurate? Is his testimony now accurate? We don't even know why he was originally placed under arrest. And this is the arresting officer.
I'm gonna need some fight back from the prosecution here.
This is
because-
Santino Forte. It's court record that he's really bad at remembering everything,
Okay, then
especially
why-
bad in court.
Why are we
That's
taking
on
the
the
chance on
record.
him
But
testifying?
it's definitely on the record.
Why are we taking a chance on him testifying then? If
He wanted to testify, and I don't break anyone's hopes and dreams.
I didn't want to
that's nice of
testify.
you.
I
Do you
remember
want
if
this
he's a-
recused? Do you want this? Nino, do you actually want this dismissed?
The entire court case? Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Oh, you mean the whole court case? I thought
oh
you meant the
yeah, oh
witness.
yes, no, the entire case. I mean, this is the arresting officer. He's the one who originally stated what the charges are. He can't even testify for what the original arrest is for. So this throws everything out the window.
Okay, I did say we were going to treat this like a learning court. Durello, how much court experience do you have?
Well, it depends on which. I'm gonna be honest. I have quite a bit, but it depends on which judge, and I don't know which judges allow what. So it's kind of like a feeler thing. So I was like,
Give me a feel as to how much time you spent in court. How much time have you dedicated to court and procedure and
I've
case
done
law?
2 bench trials in the past 5 years.
Okay. Here's the issue that I'm finding. This testimony that has been given to me by Forte saying that he lacks remembrance of situations, or that he lacks the ability to be able to put it into words and articulate it in a court of law, I find pretty relevant to this whole case. I mean, here's what I'll do. I'm gonna allow the motion, or I'm sorry, I'm gonna allow the testimony to stand as it is. I recommend at this point that we stop asking questions. And Nino, I think what you're trying to get at is a direct verdict.
Correct.
I
If
think
you want,
that's
I could
what
make
you-
my argument for clarity.
What that means?
Yes.
Yeah, let's proceed. Let's just go ahead and proceed now with a. I want to hear arguments towards and against a directed verdict being made here in this court
Yes.
right now.
Absolutely.
Which would basically mean I take what I have right now and I deliberate upon it and I come up with what I already have.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so there's been given the fact that the arresting officer has testified that they're unsure whether he was originally arrested for reckless endangerment, which in and of itself is questionable given he's in a breakdown lane, or he's unsure whether it's for arresting for accessory or the robbery of a laundromat, which in and of itself is not a charge. Given the fact that he was not able to articulate it even at the time of arrest, we can't even conclude on that. The searching of his person, the checking of the radio, everything else falls under the fruit of the poisonous tree. And I think this is aside from the fact that they put a VAF point on without him being present at the robbery, proved to be an accessory of it based on a radio channel that seemingly was taken
All right, come on,
prior
sir.
after the search and after the arrest. So I don't really think they have any evidence for it at all once his testimony gets thrown out.
All right, real quick before we get into the prosecution side. Bobby, are you being a fucking nuisance?
Bobby
No,
was
Your
being
Honor.
a nuisance, Your Honor.
All right, my bailiff is going to be on you. Bailiff, you let me know what he's doing. Give me the deeds. I will
Don't worry,
charge
Your
you with
Honor.
contempt of court.
I'll take care of him.
All right, prosecution. Let me hear your reasoning and decision making upon these charges and why this shouldn't be directed verdict. Would you like it to be directed verdict? Let me ask that.
I don't know what that means.
A directed verdict means I take all the testimony that I received today. I look at these reports. I look at all the justification I have right now, and I determine if these charges even have merit to be pushed.
Honestly, that sounds okay with me, and I'm just kind of, that sounds good with me. Sure.
All right. To be honest, the only thing that we're missing is a defense side of testimony.
Okay.
Which I doubt he would even want to testify at this point. And also, we lost the other guy, the witness. I don't know where he went. So at this time, I will just be going ahead and giving a directed verdict for these charges. Just give me about 5 minutes of time. I will be right back.
Got it, Your Honor.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you again, Nino.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell your buddy that he's a fucking dumbass, though.
Oh, I will. I'll be.
And next time I get called down for a bench trial like this, I'm not going to appreciate it. And this is my way of protecting the lawyers, because lawyers cannot be chewed up and spit up as spit out like a,
Oh my
just
gosh,
as
you
a
guys are so
save me
loud.
sort of thing.
Yeah. I was prepared to self-represent, but they decided to give
Good
you a
shit,
ring.
Nino.
That was good.
You guys,
I mean,
you guys are doing good shit.
I
And he's not
appreciate
around,
that.
so I can curse right now.
he's got to, man, Forte's got to get. You guys should have had this in the
I'm
bag,
letting
to
you
be
right now,
honest.
I am messaging the lead detective, like the HUD, because
Mhm.
do you see
Who
those
the
two
fucking
people both
shit
in
just
gray?
cursed in my courtroom?
That was
The
me, Your
cops?
Honor. I am apologize, Your Honor.
You're loud.
I'm
You're loud
sorry,
with
Your
it.
Honor.
Don't be so loud.
You got it, Your Honor. Both those cops in gray, they're both detectives. They're supposed
What?
to be planned.
They
So I
cannot.
am
With
I'm
all due
calling him
respect, it's
today.
led by
Can I be
Slacks,
honest
who
with
doesn't
you?
know what he's doing.
Detectives,
Kyle Pred's assistant over
dumb
here.
as fuck.
I'm.
You're not my
Hey,
assistant, Bobby. Get
Fred,
back to the other
I'm
side.
I'm talking to someone about it because I 100% agree. Me,
Oh,
I'm
you
not a
only need-
detective,
oh, you can
and
talk
yet
to me
I can
about it.
do holy. So good shit,
Why don't you
Nino.
open your
Thank
MD
you
Yeah.
for
and go
calling
to
it
staff
out.
pages real
Yeah,
quick.
it's
Thank you for this. Is honestly, I really enjoy seeing you in court because I learn a lot from it.
yeah.
And
mean-
the whole reason why we brought this, like, we just kind of want to see where things are at.
My biggest hope for the LSPD, because at the end of the day, they will be like part of my legacy, is I want a lot of these officers are going to get retrained, especially after witnessing things like this, because the problem is, and it gets worse in the next shift, is people can't just be driving around tasing, throwing people into cuffs and thinking it's the end of the day. They need to be able to articulate the reason why they're detaining someone and what their original reason for arrest is. Even him telling him post facto that it's going to be reckless endangerment is in and of itself like malicious.
Blows my mind how many officers don't know what RS and PC are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Even fucking high command.
Oh, I believe
don't
it.
know what it is.
I mean, that's why Ruby's not going to hold her power.
Kyle Pred.
You can also type in Bobby too. Bobby,
Ooh, nice, Pred.
Yeah, I'll be taking care of that kind of stuff. So I'll be.
Oh.
and I'm gonna assist him taking care of that too.
You're looking at the first San Andreas State Marshal.
Really?
Congratulations.
Oh, congratulations.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Congrats, Val.
Thanks, Reverend. I'm gonna be fucking this PD up.
I'm having a day.
I mean, look, it's I wouldn't take it any kind of way. I mean, my client's a fucking dumbass too, with no offense.
We're all dumbasses here.
And the thing is, like, think there's a lot of things that need to get rebuilt, and it's it's gonna take some time, but I think there's a bright future ahead. So.
To be honest, I really, really hope they side with you. I really do, because that's the only way things will change.
Yeah, part of me kind of hopes Oswaldo wins, just so I can be like, well, y'all wanted this, so.
It blows my mind that there is no, what's a good word, accountability in this police department right now.
I think it's a mix of things. I think there was a power vacuum. I think Ruth got bullied out of the LSPD, which was disgusting.
And I dropped out because of the shit they did to me, so.
What happened to you?
I was her senior. I was a senior with her.
Oh.
Me, her, and Aldo were together, trying to do what we could, and she was bullied out. We talked to her, me and Aldo, and we were like, if they're gonna treat this way to her, we're the next on the chopping block.
Yeah, it's
So we both stepped down.
Yeah.
Within weeks of each other.
Well, and now we're in this mess.
The spot's already
We're in
taken.
this
You can't
mess,
do
and
it.
I would never want to be anywhere in that position ever again.
Yeah, I think things are gonna change. I think
Bobby, calm your ass down. All right, are we ready here at this time?
Did you hear that? I'm gonna be a marshal.
All right, let me step up a little bit more, because it's really loud over there.
Forte, stop talking. Stop talking now.
Oh, sorry, Your Honor.
Because I really need you to pay attention.
this could. Oh
I need
shit!
everybody to pay attention in this courtroom, to be honest. All right, are we ready?
Yep.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I would like to thank everybody's time for coming here and hearing this hearing, whatever. I think we are confused. So let me take this time to try to gather and inform, because I think we are running into several issues with this hearing. I'm going to first start by reading the charges, as I do with every charge or with every trial. So the defendant stands accused of reckless endangerment. Reckless endangerment states that the person creates a substantial risk of serious physical injury to another person. The accused person isn't required to intend the result of potential harm, but must have acted in a way that showed a disregard for the foreseeable consequences of his actions. I will now read a high-risk institution. Robbery of a high security institution, rather. Robbery of a high security institution reads, any person who forcibly removes or enters and remains in attempt to steal anything of value in the care, custody, control, management, or possession of a financial institution. A financial institution is defined as, but not limited to, a bank, museum, jewelry store, or other high security building containing high value assets. The rest of the charges is not really needed for this, so I won't read that. Now let's talk about some material facts that were made with this case. We have a material fact that the laundromat was being robbed, with the dispatch calls, with the photos on scene, with the testimony that was brought before me, with the hostage. We have a material fact that there was a laundromat call, right? That proceeded into a pursuit, which lasted until, or at one point, where the suspect, one of the primary suspects, as we'll call it, I would love, keep in mind, for the prosecution, I would love primary suspect to be defined a little bit better.
Got it, Your
That was a
Honor.
nitpicking thing. That was a nitpicking thing for me, but the way it was done in Forte's testimony, I think we could have elaborated upon a little bit further. That's fine. Just keep that in mind. We have a primary suspect who then got onto the Strawberry gas station near the Strawberry gas station, onto that ramp that leads to the Olympic Freeway bus station, right? Bus and train station.
He should have lost this, by the way.
From there, this is when material facts gets a little muddy. I'm going to read the other material facts that I got from this, and then I'll come back to that. So we have a material fact that the radio channels were being used. I find that to be a material fact. I find that to be relevant in what we're trying to push here. However, I think this is where we get muddied up when it comes to the charges. Those are the three material facts that I find from this case. The rest of it is unfortunately very muddied. So I like to say this. All of these charges don't apply. None of these charges have much of any relevance to what has actually happened here. Reckless endangerment, from what I gathered from the testimony here today.
Yep.
It's not sufficient. It's not sufficient. There was no stated substantial risk of serious physical injury to another person. Yes, we're on a highway. A highway does not, in fact, imply serious physical injury to another person from being on the highway. Keep in mind, the car was next to the bus station. It was in incorrect lanes of travel. However, it was right next to the bus station where less than likely a person gets ran over, right? But that can still be testified to. It was not here today. What I find would apply so much easier and so much better for the prosecution.
Yep.
Obstruction of justice.
Yep. Yep.
Applies
Yep. Yep. Obstruction of justice.
Way easier.
But that's if you can even get to that.
And forethought behind it. This semantical argument over reckless evading could have been sufficiently cleared up with misdemeanor or felony obstruction of justice.
Yep. And then you build up
let
to
me
the PC.
Felony obstruction of justice and misdemeanor obstruction of justice.
Good.
So I'll just read reckless.
Good.
Because that's what I think. Misdemeanor obstruction of justice states recklessly or with criminal negligence hinders the discovery, apprehension, conviction, or punishment of a person who has committed a crime. Is that not already stated when we talk about swaps? When we talk about someone who was committing a crime and is now going into another person's car to hinder the discovery, apprehension, conviction, or punishment of a person who has committed a crime. I find that to be wholly relevant and applies here. And I do not find the argument for reckless endangerment to fit much at all.
Yeah.
So that's going to be not guilty.
They literally boxed him in right away.
I will also cover the fact of high-risk institution. Or I'm sorry, high financial. I keep saying high risk, but that's what it was stated before. High security. In what terms, and this was not testified to almost at all, in what ways is a laundromat a high security institution?
Yep.
I don't think at all. I think we have confused ourselves into just plain robbery versus high security institution.
Oh my God! I was not aiming for that.
From the definition, a financial institution is defined to, but not limited to, a bank, museum, jewelry store, or high security building. A laundromat, anybody can walk into and gain access to at any point. I don't see this charge to be relevant at all. I think I've been on bench trials where we have pushed robbery for this very same thing.
True.
So I don't know where the confusion was. I find the processing to be fundamentally lacking for the prosecution when it comes to determining charges and making sure that we can articulate those charges in a court of law. I find that to be almost wholly absent from this proceeding, which really sucks because it looks like on the groundwork level, you pretty much covered your bases here. You stopped a potential obstruction of justice from committing. With that being said, I do not give lesser charges. I feel like the charges that you push in the court of law are the charges that are going to stick. Therefore, it is going to be not guilty for both charges.
Thank you, Your
Your
Honor.
Honor,
Thank
if
you,
I
Your
may.
Honor.
You may now.
Okay, Justice Angel stated in a PD meeting when the charges were reworded and reworked, that the laundromat would
They
fall under
did,
this.
and they put a VAF on my
because
car.
it specifically
I'll work on the
states
VAF. I'll get
high
that
security
taken care of.
building
No,
containing
don't
high
worry about
value
that.
asset.
Okay.
And she stated that
You
because
can't
they
get your
have to
possessions
break
at
the
the
security,
beginning, like, you know where
the
Mission Row is
laundromat, cash
lobby?
exchange, art
Yeah.
asylum,
To the
maze
left
bank,
side,
all
there's
Get 'em
fall
some
there.
under this
windows. You can
charge.
get 'em
I'll
there.
talk with her about
Okay.
that later.
Thank you, Officer DeRollo.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there anything else that I can
Because
do?
I
Alright.
agree with you on that
No, ma'am.
charge, Your Honor.
I appreciate
Like
you being
not
here.
Yeah, I do
being
as well.
I need to
substantial,
make a lot of phone calls
but that's
today.
just
Yep.
what we were
Yep.
told to do. You know.
I will speak with her on that later.
All right.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
All right. All
Any
right.
other questions?
Nope. Thank you so much for your time, Your Honor.
I've cleared
Thanks
up
for
with
coming,
the
Nino.
VAF thing and all that.
Yeah, yeah,
with
absolutely.
the defendant,
Yeah.
so don't worry about that.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you,
Look,
Your Honor.
I'll give you guys. Listen.
Yeah, I mean, if they were able to like mention specifically.
I don't know
for
if this is
type,
true or not,
you know,
but
of,
my understanding is that my client
Hey,
was
Your Honor,
told
could you do me,
post facto that you'd be pressing reckless endangerment. Now, if that is the case, that's a fireable offense. You can't be making shit up post facto. That's inherently illegal. And in most jurisdictions, you go to prison for shit like that. Now,
Oh, I totally understand.
If I was in your position, the moment you saw the vehicle and the moment you boxed the vehicle in without being able to, you know, move the vehicle, you're preventing his movement. So you've immediately detained him
Yeah.
at that stage.
that was
and-
my bad.
And
I should have called out. I should have warned him, like, leave the area. If he refused
Yeah,
to do so,
yeah.
then I had all the more reason to believe.
exactly, you got to give
He was involved.
the person like the opportunity to do something
Mhm.
else, because you got to keep in mind, just because like obviously this guy was helping, right? But you have to prove that, right? You can't. Thought crime is illegal.
Yeah.
So if the
100%.
guy is pulled up and you're like, okay, that guy might be, you know, involved, you have to also assume it could be just him in a breakdown lane. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
And so you have to tease out the arrest. So you can detain him for like a traffic infraction for driving in the opposite lane of travel, and then see what he does next. If he complies, you're screwed. Right. And the other thing that he mentioned to me, if any of this is true, this would be also fireable, is that if you searched his person immediately without actually getting that radio channel and not being able to articulate probable cause for a arrest, you have now, you know, opened yourself up to a civil lawsuit for infringing on his rights because you searched
100%.
this person.
Yeah, 100%. I
you
did
know what I'm
not search
saying?
him until
You
I
didn't
got that
search-
radio channel. Yeah, I can
Yeah,
promise
I
that.
told
Yeah.
him to just detain and see if he can
Yeah.
check his radio channel. He asked if he had a radio, and that's when.
Unless there's other factors, like I think you got him for a traffic violation.
You're
Yeah,
not
but
wrong, Nino.
at the
I
same
ain't
time,
gonna lie
that's-
to you.
Yeah, that's good because at the same time, no, we
Yeah.
keep him occupied. If
So,
because,
Oh, he's good. Yeah.
I am going to
Take it from
ensure,
here.
and this isn't about you guys personally. I think a lot of your command structure that currently exists has failed you. Y'all will be getting the training necessary to make you effective. And any of these officers that currently exist that acting like gang members with a fucking gun and a badge, they're going to get sorted really quickly.
A lot of them, Nino. Gonna lie to you.
Oh, trust me, I'm making note.
Yeah.
And you don't want this guy breathing down your neck because you got Pred. He's a fucking marshal. He's gonna be hocking
Oh, I'm
you.
going to be.
I'm gonna ask him for a
I'm going to be
job.
breathing down their neck.
All right.
Oh, we
think
need to
I
talk
fit.
about this. We need to talk about this
hell
court
yeah.
case because this was a fucking disaster if I've ever
I
seen
don't
one.
even trust
Might
me, I
actually,
know.
it might actually fall under a rights violation at this point as well.
Oh,
Where did DeRollo go?
I think she's sorting out some stuff. But yeah. Okay.
How
cool.
about we go to? How about we go to? How about we go have a talk to just me and you at first? How about that?
Me?
Come on. Yeah, why don't you come with me? Come on. I got a Seminole parked outside
Mulligan,
just for us.
Reverend, what's your you want to send me a text and then I'll send you my state ID.
Thank you. I was just about to ask you for that. I don't have a phone.
Oh,
Are
that's
you
what
gonna
I
be
was
around for a
gonna.
while?
But I have
yeah, I'm
my-
gonna be
my
around.
number.
If you want to give me a ring.
I might want to have a conversation with you about this
Oh,
court case.
yeah, 100%. It's gonna be
There's a reason why I wanted to
1166.
reach out to you.
That's your state ID. Okay, let me write it down.
Yep. Yeah, I appreciate you calling me down. By the way, my general is like I don't want like I try to put a stance down for like. Here's the thing, right? It's kind of like I lawyers should be able to like negotiate down in the cells or whatever. This is my personal opinion, by the way, right? But at the same time, I don't want to create scenarios where like lawyers, like in this case, right? Someone gets pulled in. Someone's asked for a bench trial because if someone calls for a bench trial, they got to be prepared to defend themselves. But then a lawyer getting called in afterwards, it kind of puts them in a shitty spot because maybe the case is not sufficient. You know what I mean?
This case, I'm going to be completely transparent with you. I was down in the cells arguing with my fellow officers about the RS versus PC on this.
Oh, really?
And that is, yes. And that is part of the reason, even on the way here, I understand we could detain him and question him and try to figure things out, but it became kind of apparent that everybody assumed on scene that he was involved. Just because he was parked there.
I kind of got that.
I tried to reach out to
impression.
you while we were in the cells, but you didn't pick up, so I assumed when I called you,
Yeah.
you just waking up, just got on a train, just got a cup of coffee and everything.
I did, yeah.
But yeah, that's why I figured I'd try to reach out to you to either get you involved in the case, to either represent Mr. Mullins here, or to at least talk to you about it after the fact.
Yeah, no, I think you had the right thought process. That's what I started picking up on the stand, because the one thing that tends to get missed is the arresting officer needs to be able to articulate each and every step from detainment all the way to the arrestable offense and how they built it up. And if they're not able to articulate that in the moment, like, then, you know, it invalidates. If you do like a post facto, well, actually there was something here for reckless evading, you can't do that. You can't, you know what I mean? Because you're now making that determination based on evidence that you would not have had previously.
Nino? Yeah, I messed up when I think I made the call to because I thought like I have enough to detain him, maybe ask him some questions, figure out like what he was doing in the area.
Yeah, I think that's
but
perfectly fine.
I didn't know if
I think that part's fine.
The part like I'm a bit confused of, which I want to get clarification on, is it okay to have enough RS to be like, can I check their radio channel specifically to see if they are like on the same frequency? Because
so I unless I'm missing some information, so the individual was Reverend Mullen was parked pointing in a different direction, and I think based on your officer training, I think it's reasonable to suspect he might be involved and he might be a pickup. So that's enough to like detain him and question him. You can ask him to step out of the vehicle, but now this is where it gets shaky. I would even argue it's questionable whether you can even ask him to step out of the vehicle onto the highway. Now I understand that he was asked to
the train station.
Yeah, but like, is it safe for him to get on the train track? Right. There's kind of it's one of these like gray areas of like how dangerous is Los Santos, right? So a good defense attorney could even say, well, you should navigate that individual off the highway into a safe area for him to exit, right? And I know these are like additional steps that take more of your time, but let's ignore all that, right, for a second. And let's say you did get him out into let's pretend it's not the highway and it's just a regular road. If your training is telling you that this guy is probably involved and you have a reason to detain him, you can ask him to step out of the vehicle. whether or not you can check his radio can be considered a search.
Yeah,
It's a very gray area because you are now like having to grab the radio and look at it, right? That inherently is a seizure. You could ask him for the radio channel, but like at that stage, you really got him on a traffic ticket, and at best, like suspicion he might be interfering. Like you almost you almost want to hope that he drives off. You know what I'm saying? Like you almost want him to give you more evidence. Otherwise, could you get the arrest? Maybe, but now you're playing with fire. You know?
If, for example, if I just pulled up and said, and I saw him on the freeway, say, leave the area.
Yes.
And you can choose stay there and maybe prepare. Then I got him for more. I think he really was involved and by disobeying and obstructing.
I don't want to use the word too loosely, but you kind of want to be baiting the person to do something stupid, which gives you more grounds to do more things. But if in his case someone is very compliant, you know, your hands begin to get tied, and even if in the back of your mind you're like, you definitely know that this guy was involved, it's, you know, you can't know that for sure, you know.
Yeah.
So
I've been
I think I got
DOJ's perspective on checking the radios with RS, depending on if we can question them or not. Obviously not like searching and everything.
So
if we have permission to like check radio and check channel,
the DOJ should not be the one that is telling you right from wrong. In my opinion, this is my stance. I'm not officially speaking on behalf of the DOJ, but calling on judges to tell you what's right and wrong is actually one of the most foolish things that I think the department has been doing, because number one, every judge is going to think differently. Number two, they're giving you general guidance and not like a black and white answer. And if you, like, let's say, talk to Bailey might think that's considered a search and seizure, whereas Angel might think something else, because the only thing that is in legislation is what is written. And remember, even the judges can be voted out. So there's no such thing as infallibility outside of what is written and what can be articulated. So I would say 100%. That there's a real argument that if you've got a radio on your person, like your radio, where's your radio right now?
I got it in my pocket.
Okay, can I look at it? How do I look at it then?
Mine's on my waist here.
I'd have to give it to you so you could look at it.
And what if you don't give it to me?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If they are, because he was being compliant with us. So if he was compliant enough to give us the radio and we checked the channel. So I mean,
like asking, like, can I search you? And they say no. Then
I
can't really.
Generally speaking, if you cannot search them, you probably cannot find out the radio.
Yeah, that's what I'm going off at the moment.
Yeah. Even though you might be like, oh shit. Now, if you saw them use the radio, right? Then, you know, now you've got a little bit more grounds. And that's kind of what it comes down to, right? Is like, not every officer needs to be good in court, but they need to be able to, at minimum, be able to articulate how they're getting to something. And unfortunately, I think the trend that we're coming down is officers that, you know, can drive well and shoot good are being put on a pedestal, when in reality, none of that shit matters, right? Because you can blast them down, but if you don't know why the fuck you did it in the first place, you know, you're kind of just a gangbanger with a badge and a gun.
Yep.
Yeah. But anyways,
I don't know. I figured it'd be kind of an interesting case on both sides.
I'm glad you brought it down.
Radio specifically.
Oh yeah, because of this as well, we're able to get further. What do you call it? Got the Hyatt. The Hyatt institution thing. We weren't.
Oh yeah, true.
We're all a bit like unsure about it. You know, laundromat falling.
No, they don't need a DA's
I'm sure
office.
We have like PD meetings, you know, but Justice Angel the day before, or actually the day of the new legislation, came in and told us that charge changed, along with Judge Bailey. I always forget the other one's name.
Like we've been charging people that charge for. Take care, everyone.
I can't think of his other justice's name, but there's 3 justices, and Justice Angel basically stated that is going to be an umbrella for the laundromat because of the clause of a high security building.
I'd recommend that that the detectives have a statement, I mean, that's where you should be.
We have video evidence. of
Man,
somebody
I
having
don't
to
know.
hack
Maybe
into it.
there's like a not detective that found a bunch of shit about the laundromat and wrote like a massive documentation on it that might be useful for referencing.
I did try to reference it because we have a video proof from Officer King showing
Yeah.
someone. Actually, I don't even know if it was King, but
No,
someone recorded
close.
them hacking into the laundromat.
Oh my
the
God, that's
outside.
crazy. Yeah. Yeah, like whoever
saw
that
something
cop
with a
was,
K.
you know, maybe summarizing that into 3 sentences, you know, like a reference sheet for like officers, so that when you're like, you know, in court, you can like summarize like why something is what it is. Because think about it this way: if tomorrow you can like if someone breaks into like some other building, you still need to internally be able to argue why
Speak of the devil.
something is what it is. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
because
Yeah,
and it's a disservice to other officers if the detective unit is not producing those kind of documents.
I mean, the detective unit is still kind of fresh. We're kind of going through things at the moment, getting like a lot of dossiers going. I think the thing is with that legislation, it's been passed along from Justice Angel's wording that these places are included in that charge. in that
Yeah,
umbrella.
but you can't go off like, look, I'm not trying to discount what Angel said, but you know, you still have to. That doesn't negate the fact that you still have to articulate it, right? Because she's
that's
coming
true.
from the perspective of, yes, you can articulate it, but that doesn't mean you know, get to skip. You know what I mean? Like, I would make a court master document. You know what I mean? With like so like in court, you're like, these are the charges. The laundromat is a building where you have to bust the side thing and you find these things inside of it. Well, you know what I mean? So then anytime you go to court, because remember, there's going to be new judges too.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I guess there are
So,
times where like they're unable to kind of bust it at the back. They're just getting the.
yeah, like whatever the, you know, summary is. Like, I don't think you need more than like 2 to 3 sentences.
I'll have to look it up again and maybe put it in for that new charge and whatever other one's changed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I got to get going. I appreciate y'all's time. Yep.
Yeah. Thanks, Nino.
Yep, anytime.
Thank you, Nino.
Be sure to vote. Voting opens tomorrow.
Oh, shit. That was